Hey YouTube, it's Renditez here. In this video, I'll be teaching you move, rotate, and scale basics of Blender. Let's go. If you want to move your object, you select the object and hit the G key. When you hit the G key, move your mouse and you will move the object. This is being moved in world space. When you're moving your object in world space, if you want to cancel the move, it's right click and it'll cancel your move. If you want to move it to a place and you want to confirm that movement, it's left click. And you see that the cube has completely moved and it's actually staying there. Now, you can move on axes as well. If you press G, you know that it's going to move in world position. But if I press X after I tap G, now you can see that the object is constrained to the X axis. If you press Y, it's going to shift from X into Y. And if you press Z, it's going to shift to Z. And that's how you move on constraint. Another tip to move is, if you want to move on two axes and leave out one axis, you can do that as well. So if you press G, you can see that it's world space view now, right? World space move. I don't want to move it on the Z axis. I want to move it on the X and Y. You hold Shift Z or you tap Shift Z. When you tap Shift Z, what it does is it isolates the Z axis. And now you can see that my cube moves on the X and Y plane only. It does not go up and down. Let's try that again. Let's now isolate the Y axis. So Shift Y, and you can see that the Z and X axis are active, and look at this. Our object moves on the X and Z. That's how you do it. Now, the other way of moving is when you press G and you press an axis. If you press a number after this, Blender will move it literally that many units. So if I press 1, the cube moved 1 unit on the plus axis of X. If I press 2, now you remember how you pressed 1? It's 1 and 2, so it's 12 units. So Blender remembers that. So you will have to hit backspace, backspace, and now you see how it's back to its origin. Now if you hit 2, it moves 2 units. So remember that. So with this, you can precisely move your cube on any axis. So you can say G, Y, and I want to move it 3 units to the Y. So you can do that. If you press G and Z and you want to move it 4 units to the top, you can do that. And backspace is to bring it back. Right mouse is to cancel. Now let's move to rotation. Rotation is just R. If you click R, you can see that it moves from your camera perspective. That is your pivot. So that's how it's going to rotate the cube. You can again rotate these on axes. So this is X, this is Y, and this Z. So you can change your axis and rotate. And the last is, you guessed it, precision rotation. So I can say R and then hit Z, and then I put 45, and you see how it turns it 45 degrees on the Z axis. And the last is scale. So when you hit S, you can scale the objects in and objects out. If you press S and press X, Y, or Z, you can then scale them on that axis itself. So that's X and that's Y. If you want precision scaling, you guessed it, it's S, X, and then 2, and then you'll scale it on that. You can isolate scaling as well. So if you press S and Shift Z, you are not going to scale this on the Z axis anymore. So if you move, check that out. So it scales on X and Y, but not Z. With all these tips, you basically can now navigate around Blender, and actually your foundations for move, rotate, and scale are all done. And I hope this helps. Keep creating. I'll make more videos like this. Subscribe for more, please. Thank you. Bye-bye.